My Son, What Have Ye Done is a 2009 release drama thriller directed by Werner Herzog.
Yep, it focuses on a young actor played by Michael Shannon, who's rehearsing a Greek play, a Greek tragedy, becoming more and more obsessed with it. And the film starts with him killing his mother with a sword, which is a very Greek tragedy style thing to do. And that's the film. Basically, the film is trying to discover why he did it, not who did it, because we know straight away, but it's why he did it. And it's it's filmed like from the start with the slaying, and then the police arriving and stuff like that, and then interspersed with flashbacks to him rehearsing the play and visiting his uncle, and things like that, and interactions with his mother. And it's a weird one. I mean, it's directed by Herzog and exec produced by David Lynch. And when you told me that, I knew straight away not quite what I was in for, but I knew it was going to be weird. And it was. It doesn't disappoint. If you're looking for something weird, you will get something weird. And everybody that's in it. So you've got Michael Shannon, who is weird in everything, really, isn't he? He's quite a weird guy. He's a great actor, but he's very intense, all of the time, and that's exactly the same here, but maybe ramped up slightly more. And you've got Chloë Sevigny, who is in loads of indie films and stuff like that, and is has played the a strange character in the past. Willem Dafoe, again, no stranger to Lynch films, and weird art house stuff, so he fits in perfectly. And
Michael Pena,
yeah, he's fine in it. He's another great actor. To me, he didn't quite fit in it. He looked, I don't know, it didn't look like he felt quite at home in it as everybody else did, because all the other actors in it.
I would disagree with that.
Okay, fair enough.
Maybe we should just cut to the point here, because you didn't like it, really, did you?
Well, not really, no. It was just weird for the sake of being weird, with no real point to it. I mean, I will add, it's based on a true life case.
Yeah, it was. It was based. What's his name? Mark something. Mark Yonaski or something.
Yeah, I guarantee though in real life, people, maybe he was weird, but
he was.
I imagine that everyone else was weird as well in the whole that surrounded him. So it just it's just strange, really. The dialogue is odd some of the time. The delivery is quite artificial, and this is all. It's not. This isn't a criticism. That's obviously how it's supposed to be.
Sure.
But I don't know. That didn't work for me, and it also, because it's shot in a certain way with a certain type. I think it's like a DV camera. It's not shot on film or anything, which gives it a sort of lo-fi, cheap quality to the image. I mean, the DVD. I don't know. The DVD didn't look great, so I don't know if that hurt it even more. But all that together, it made it look like a student film almost to me. It looked cheap.
Blimey.
And I don't know. I haven't seen much Herzog, so I don't really have a frame of reference.
Well, it's not. I mean, I would say so. I do really like it.
Yeah.
So big disagreement here. I think it's really So I'm not an academic, and I can't tell you why certain things happen in kind of art house cinema. I just like some art house cinema because I like the visual side of it.
Yeah.
I like that, I'm very into photography and things like that. So I guess I understand visuals, or I like visuals, and I'm much more into films that have interesting visuals that are thrown out at you. And so there are certain stuff in there which I possibly go, okay, what if I sat there and thought about it? I'd be like, so we were just talking about. There's a scene. Well, there's a couple of moments where the actors will just suddenly stop what they're doing and stare at the camra.
I mean, should we do that now and see how YouTube enjoys it?
We just stop.
That's what the film is basically.
Yeah, basically. So what's my thinking? So I'm not an academic. What do I take out of that? Well, I don't know. What I take from that is that the film is told in flashbacks, and maybe that's just coming to the end of a flashback. maybe not. I don't know. Herzog makes really great films. He makes really serious films, and he's a really good filmmaker. But there are times, I think he has a kind of tongue-in-cheek moment. I think there's a lot of that goes on with Herzog films. I mean, there's that great documentary film he made about Loch Ness up in Scotland, which is hilarious. It's kind of a documentary that becomes something quite traumatic. I think he's definitely a filmmaker that has tongue firmly in cheek, and I think that because this film's very funny. There's a lot of very funny stuff in it. Stuff in this film that made me laugh out loud.
Really?
Yes, really. I found it very funny. I think the stuff with the bits with Brad Dourif. Brad Dourif plays the uncle in it.
Yeah, but he's just a dick.
He's not a dick. He's just
I love
very
Brad
funny
Dourif.
moments where he just kind of, I don't know. Well, you have to see it. There's some very funny lines in
he's
it.
playing some sort of backwards bigger.
Well, he is, which is very funny.
But is it? I don't know. It felt a bit out of place, and like why? I don't know. Whatever.
It is about a man who is losing his marbles.
Absolutely.
And so there's obviously, I mean, possibly are we maybe looking? Are we seeing all the surroundings from the point of view of Michael Shannon?
If that was
so
the
that
case,
would suggest
I could buy into that more. Yeah.
But if you watch a lot of his films, then he has a really interesting eye. He's very.
I think
to me, he comes across like a little bit like an observational stand-up comedian. He sees the world in a very different way to everyone else.
What I would say about that, and what you were saying earlier about you like well composition shots and things, and things like that. I agree, and it's nice to see a beautiful scene that looks lovely and everything. But this film doesn't have. Yes, it has scenes that almost like photographs, where if you stand still for a second, but it doesn't look nice because it's not filmed on a particularly great film, a great camera, so it doesn't look particularly nice. So I'm staring at some
But does that? But do you need to have a
washed out image that doesn't? But if I can't appreciate the beauty of the shot if it doesn't look. I don't know.
But some films are purposely made. I mean, you make a film cheap, it should still be a film. It doesn't have to.
No, I agree. But I think if you're going to say, look at my beautiful shots, then film it beautifully. Don't film it like cheap crap.
To me, it doesn't look cheap to me.
But no, I don't know. To me, it just felt weird for the sake of being weird, and it didn't really. If it's going to explore mental illness, to me, it didn't really do that.
Well, it's not exploring mental illness.
Then what's the point of it? Then what is it? What is the aim of this film?
Because it's just looking at. Like I said, I probably couldn't tell you because I didn't see myself in an academic sense. But for me, I just get what I get out of it is an enjoyable ride into someone's personality. I mean, I've often questioned whether people who are losing their mind are actually losing their mind. Maybe they're more saner than the rest of us. I don't know. I think it means that you can have some interesting. The film loves strange people. The best film loves strange characters, so that they can either talk about philosophical stuff or political stuff or whatever, and it just can bring out strange things in people. Whether that sometimes it doesn't make sense, sometimes it makes sense. I like stuff like that. I just get a kick out of watching crazy people, I suppose. I don't know. But it's made us talk about it, think about it, which is what a really good film
I think
does.
it's exactly the sort of film where you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it.
Exactly, yeah.
You will get nothing. You will either get nothing out of it, or you'll think it's the most amazing thing you've ever seen in your life.
It wasn't the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life, and it's certainly not a Herzog masterpiece.
No,
there are other films that you would put in that.
But
it's fun.
Yeah, I mean, I like some
an enjoyable romp in Herzog's mind.
Yeah, watch it if you want.
Yeah, well, I would recommend watching it. I mean, definitely, if you like Herzog and you haven't seen it, then I recommend you check it out. I just fell over.
If you're a Lynch and Herzog fan, then you probably would just lap it up, I would imagine.
Like I said, it's not a Herzog masterpiece. I mean, there are definitely. I mean, he's made so many films in his career and documentaries as well. You all know which Herzog films you like the most, and I definitely like other Herzog films more than this one. I love his humour. I think he's got a really interesting humour that I really like, and I mean, you just listen to him in interviews, and I've read, you know, a few books about him. I just like the way he views the world. I mean, obviously he is from, you know, he was originally from Germany. Well, he is from Germany. And if you watch people like Wim Wenders and Fassbinder, you know, they have interesting takes on films, and I do wonder that obviously they came out of the Second World War, which was from Germany, and and I think people that come out of those situations obviously see the world in a different view. I mean, I've always found it interesting. You look at people that come from really quite hard upbringings. They go on to make, you know, quite intense, heavy films. Not always, but particularly Herzog. I've always found his view on life really interesting. He puts really quite strange things into his stuff, and I've always liked that. Like I said, it's not a masterpiece in Herzog terms, but it's kind of a break from Herzog because it's a comedy. It's a bit more like Bad Lieutenant that he did either before or after this one with Nicolas Cage, which is similar as well. It's, you know, it's very funny. It's very OTT. Maybe it's better than this one. I don't know. I'd have to watch that again. Have you seen that one?
I haven't. No, I want to see it, but no,
maybe we'll give that one a go.
Yeah.
When you've had a break from strangeness. But can you see this film? That's the big question.
Yes, you can.
You can see
unfortunately.
I just have it on DVD, which came out when it came out, and there was some special audio commentary with Herzog. I never listened to that. Maybe you should listen to it. Get some insight into what's going on. Yeah, and there's some interviews and behind the scenes footage. So it's a standard DVD. It might be on Blu-ray.
It is, yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's been released in the US. I think it was released in Canada. Right. I won't be importing it anytime soon.
Okie dokie. You've seen it. Enough for you, yeah?
I've seen it. I'm done. I can cross that off the bucket list of things that I never want to do again.
Or never wanted to do in the first place.
Exactly.
Until we came along.
Yeah.
Great. Excellent. Well, that was My Son, What Have Ye Done?
Oh, it was. It's over.
Yeah. And as always, if you liked this film or this video, then leave us a comment. Because it's such a love-hate divide,
yeah, cool,
we'd love to know what you think.
Tell me I'm an idiot for hating it. It's fine.
Tell me I'm an idiot for liking it.
I'm sure. I'm sure there's people on both sides, and that's fine.
Sure
every film is, has got its lovers and haters.
Which is why film is great, because it makes people argue and chat.
Exactly.
And
tell us why you don't like it. Tell us why you love it.
Yeah, we'd be interested to hear.
Maybe someone could convince me to like. You haven't convinced me to like it. Maybe somebody out there could.
Do a better job than me. Yeah. Good luck with that.
I didn't hate it. I just did. It didn't do anything for me.
Well, that's fair enough. At least you're honest, eh?
Yeah, quite.
Great.
But I try to see, anything that we watch, any film I watch, I try and appreciate what even if it's not that great, I try and get something out of it. And I think in that the performances were good. Everyone in it was really good. But the story I didn't care about. So what was the point in it? Yeah. Anyway, we've said enough.
We have played plenty, indeed. Great. Well, yeah. So that was it. And you can catch us on Twitter and Facebook as well.
Yep.
We leave things on there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
And persevering through this video.
Indeed. We'll see you next time.